Yeah, Coco. Hi, welcome to my eclectic channel. My name is Agnès and I make videos for fun. We've been working on one of those little numbers. We've been working on the welt pockets. All of that ugliness here that we have on the right side goes in. So shove it through the slit, everything goes in the back. Including the little lips here. Everything just put that in the back. Everything comes out here. And then in the front it's going to look like this. So we'll have this edge here, which is nice, which is what we want. And we have the other one. So everything, including at the corners, needs to go in. If we did this correctly, you're supposed to have those two clean edges meeting. Make a neat thin slit here. Shove things in until you have this clean edge of your rectangle. And then you want to turn and make sure that this is lining up nice here. So you want to have a closed slit and make sure that here you have a clean edge. So this is on the right side. Then lift, get the front side out of the way, and look at what's going on in the back. Here's my nice pretty little triangle and my two flaps. Ideally these would be butted against each other. Mine overlap a little bit. So I'm going to check the right side again, make sure that, yeah, if they overlap it's a little better. They overlap a tad bit. I did not calculate this exactly. And you have this little triangle that comes on top. And we want to take this to our machine and work a line of stitching back and forth to secure that little triangle and those two flaps, everything together, just a few lines of stitching. And it's really important to work it as close to the edge as you can. So here's the right side. I pressed it. You do want to take this to your ironing board and press it on the back side. You can iron out some of your mistakes. Mine is not the neatest thing. It's my first welt pocket. One thing I found a little easier to do when I was working on the back was to stitch, instead of doing as she's showing in the tutorial where she's turning this over and stitching where the triangle is showing and doing it this way, I found it easier to actually stitch it from that side, of course without catching, so like this. Stitch it on this side. And what I did, one reason why the corners are not looking neat is if your line of stitching here is not straight, like if you're not doing a right angle, if your line of stitching is not a right angle with the with those sides, then it won't be neat. And the way you can really control that is if you take it on this back side, mark, and then follow that and control what those two flaps are doing. And the little triangles can be under there. So I discovered that from number 2, so it was a little better. From the second corner that I worked, so it was a little better. All right, so now it is time to bring in our flap. And it's pretty easy here. What you want to do is you want to open the pocket and you slide it in. And slide it in. And pull it until you're happy with what is showing. So for me, I had intended it to have this much showing. And then turn your work over, and on the back side you have this. Your flap came out here, and we want to secure it to this seam allowance. So take these two things together and stitch At this point, it's a good idea. I made my flaps more than long enough, but at this point, it's a good idea to mark how tall that is, and actually cut that off. So I'm going to mark here, and I'm going to cut that off, and I'm actually going to do the other one the same way, just cut this much off. Alright, so now that I've cut the excess from the flap, I do have what's called the pocket patch, the pocket patch and the flap lining up, and I am going to stitch the two together. So now we want to do the inside of the pocket, and I have here a piece of lining. I folded it in half so that I can obtain two pieces. In the tutorial, she has you cut those rectangles in the beginning, but she doesn't tell you how big to cut them. So I did not cut them because I didn't know how big they should be. But now I know how big they should be. Remember at the very beginning we did this? We attached this smaller rectangle of lining to the pocket patch. So we want to take that, open it up, and put it here. And that's how big our rectangle needs to be. If you have it, make it a little longer. I do not. I don't want to take a brand new piece of fabric for this, so I do want to use this little leftover I have. So it'll have to do. I mean, I can make my pocket a little shorter if I need to. It's not a big deal. Right, so next we're on the back side here with the belt pocket. This is the flap sticking out. So you want to take the one that we made earlier and have it, so you need to be a bit careful. You do want to put it, it's a little weird. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. So right side facing wrong side, and this is because when you open your pocket, you want to have the clean side showing, not the seam, right? So go like this, right side down, and mine is way too wide. Again, she did not give precise measurements, so, and that's fine because it can get trimmed. The idea is to attach this to the top of the flap, and then stitch it. I'm going to run this again with an overlock stitch. This is the time to do it. The pockets are quite a project. But we're almost there. We'll finish them next time. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe for more.